All right, Meal Prep Mondays. We're here with food and nutrition consultant Seanna Thomas. Look, we're talking about going back to school, but also back to work because some of this stuff, like I'm ready to dig in.
Yeah.
Here. So what do we have? How long?
We've been up for a while.
Yeah, we've been up for a while.
Ready for lunch.
Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, back to school, right? I don't want to talk about it either, but it's happening. So typically, right, we have lunches. Last week we were talking about breakfast. This week we're going to talk about lunch. This is the typical lunch, right? And I do this too. This is like 80% of the lunches my kids get look like this. Sandwich, muffin, fruits and veggies. But sometimes that stuff goes for a round trip, right? You're just sending it out into the world for it to come back. And I don't know how many apples have come back into my house. So we need to change it up every once in a while, right? And no judgment if you're sending that, because I am too. But let's talk about some things you can do using the food you have in your fridge, meal prepping, right? So that you don't have those chaotic mornings making lunches. This is a turkey freezer burrito. So with 1 pound of turkey, some black beans, if your kids are into those, not always, right? But like you said, this can be for us too. A little
You just
bit
gotta
of
hide it, right?
Yeah, you just hide it in there. Cover it in cheese, right? Like there's ways to get around this. The veggies I put in here, peppers and onions, kind of a classic burrito flavor. You can wrap them up. This recipe that I'm going to have on my Instagram this week, and this one right here that you can see, makes 8 of these, 8 burritos, and then you throw them in the freezer. You have them all week.
Okay, so for the freezer, if you're putting this in the kids' lunch, do you microwave it before they go to school, or I don't know, can kids use a microwave at school?
So, well, it depends, right? If they have access to one, if they're in high school, maybe, yes, they can microwave it at school, not in the foil, obviously. Please don't do that. But otherwise, you can take it out the night before, you know, leave it in the fridge, and then it'll definitely be thawed by lunchtime. But it also keeps everything cool in their lunch, right? If you're putting something in that's a little bit frozen, it keeps everything nice and cold.
So are you making these on like Sunday afternoon?
Yeah.
For the work to the school and work week?
Exactly. It takes maybe an hour of your time, but then you have 8 of these in the freezer, or double it up, make 16 if your kids really like them, and they're good in the freezer for months, so you just pull them out and eat them. This one is really good. These are spaghetti and meatball nests. I love these because you're using up leftovers, right? Leftovers are huge, and not a lot of people like to just eat the same food again, so repurpose it into a lunch. And you can look at these. They come out so nice and easy, and they're nice and easy to eat too. Instead of filling a thermos, you know, with a super saucy thing that's going to get all over them, right? These are nice. You can bulk it up with some fruits and veggies on the side, a little bit of cheese, pasta. This is going to give them that energy they need throughout the day, and use up all that stuff in your fridge.
And how many would you typically give? I mean, obviously it depends on appetite and size of the kid as well.
Yeah.
I could probably eat the whole tray.
Right,
A little more Parmesan.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I would give probably 2 of these to my younger kids, maybe 3 to my older kids, but like you said, you know your kids best and their appetite and what they need. But a really great way to fill them up and get them excited about lunch, right?
And an awesome twist on the egg bites too. You usually see these in these little muffin pans.
Yeah, exactly. So something a little bit different. And then last year, I love breakfast. I could eat it 3 times a day.
I'm smiling because I get to eat this.
You're going to dive in. Perfect. So this is a baked frittata. I used up these veggies and that I just had in my fridge. They're seasonal. You can throw in whatever you like, right? If you have broccoli, I like peppers, zucchini, and you can cut them up really nice and tiny so that your kids aren't like, oh my God, what is this huge thing? But once again, there's lots of cheese in here too. There's feta in there. And you can...
That's it. You had me.
Right.
Done.
You cut it up, freeze them, and then take them out, put them in their lunches. They'll be thawed by lunchtime. Super quick and easy.
Can I eat all of this?
You can eat all of it. Go ahead.
You can have the whole pan.
Yeah.
Hurry. Save me one little slice. That's all I ask.
But again, you know, something a little bit different if your kids like breakfast, and you can sneak the veggies in here too. So a nice, different way to spice up your lunch.
And a good way to convince your kids to eat some veg as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. And all of these recipes are going to be on my Instagram and my Facebook, Seanna Thomas Nutrition. So definitely check it out this week. And then next week, I'm going to be back with snacks. So you definitely want to tune in for snacks.
Seanna Thomas, food and nutrition consultant. Thanks so much.
No problem.
Happy back to school as well.